Alright, what we doing today, bro?
A high taper. Nothing off the top. Curly, yeah.
YouTube. If you don't already, please subscribe and turn that bell on. Without further ado, let's rock it. I start by picking my client's head. A prepped head is always the best head to, just to cut. I'm starting my guideline with the crease of his ear going to the bottom of his vertical bar to ensure that this taper will be detailed and is not too far up. I start taking my Stylecraft instincts and I'm going to level all the way open, just a finger's width. And I'm just trying to create some transition. As you can see, I'm brushing and fading, brushing and fading, brushing and fading. I'm halfway closed now, going halfway up, just trying to create some transition. We're going to create a blurry effect, especially after we lay our enhancements down. And I'm level all the way closed, just detailing, brushing one, fading one. As you can see, I open back up just to use the 2 teeth of my blade, to ensure that the blend is coming good. Here, because his hair got a lot of bulk to it, I don't want to take too much off for the lower guard. So here I'm just using my one guard and I'm going up a finger's width. As you can see, I'm level all the way open. That looks good. It's coming together. And like I said, only 2 guards right now, got it looking good. And the reason why it look like that is because of his hair texture. As I brush, it's going in the direction that I want. Don't forget, guys, to be making sure you cutting the back of the ear, because sometimes we tend to only focus on the frame of the head. So you want to create detail within that area too. Here I'm using my 0.5, which is my 0 guard on the Stylecraft instincts. And I'm going level halfway close. And I'm just trying to create that transition, knock that line out. Now I'm going level all the way close. There's nothing wrong with ever fading down. Trust me, it's never wrong with fading down, because sometimes you'll save yourself from taking too much of the bulk. And sometimes you need that bulk. For instance, this high taper, you don't want to go too high with it. That's coming together that's coming together clean. As you can see, I'm coming back, detailing, level all the way open. The guard system on these Stylecrafts with the white guards, I feel like they dope. But you pretty much can use what you like to use. As you can see, I'm going back, I'm just detailing. I want to ensure that this transition is clean and is thorough throughout the entire head. I want to make sure that it's immaculate. I want to make sure it's perfect. I want to make sure it's cleaned up how I need it to be cleaned up. So there's nothing wrong with over detailing. That look good. Here I'm taking my Low Pro FX1s, and because these are not my hitters, I'm able to put them on the back of his neck in a sensitive area without it irritating him. As you can see, these things are hitters too. I use them on kids, I use them wherever I use them. And it's a good look. I still want y'all to stay around, because I do want to show y'all how hard my 245X Fabulous trimmers hit. They hit. So I want y'all to stick around for that, and I can show y'all, the method of adjusting them and everything like that. Here I'm going with my Stylecrafts again, and as you can see, we just doing the same steps we did on the side of his taper. As you can see, I'm staying super low with this blend, because I don't want to take his neck taper up too high. He had too much hair, and it wouldn't look right if I took it up too high. So I'm trying to stay as low as possible. Remember that. All neck tapers don't consist of you needing to go up too high. As you can see, I'm still fading down. This is my one guard. Now I'm using my 0.5. Just trying to knock out that line. Just trying to create some transition back here too. And sometimes if you can't see a taper and you just want to be able to flow through it, you can always line up the neck area before you blend out the taper. It'll show you where you need to be. As you can see, I'm just using 2 teeth and I'm just trying to detail this line out. Now this is my highest guard, which is a 1.5. I don't want to take too much of the bulk off. Never want to do that. And that looks good. Everything coming together real good, and I see that still I always will have to still detail even after I shape my client up. You still always will have to detail. I'm not the best barber. Even the best barber will still have to detail, and that's just how you can separate your work from other barbers just by the amount of detail you put into a haircut. I would rather my client sit in my chair for an hour versus getting him out of my chair in 15 minutes. Why? Because he know I'm paying attention to detail. He know that I'm not a quick barber. So if you want a haircut that's going to be in and out, I'm not that barber for you. I can only ensure that I'm giving you work that I will want on my own head. So please stay consistent. Please, if you stay consistent, everything will flow the right way for you, which meaning your clientele will get better, your clients will pay better, your equipment will get better, your timing of your services will get better. Just stay consistent. Being consistent is everything in the barber game. You know, like I said, I'd rather have my client in my chair every week for an hour. You can save that from an hour of whatever it is. I have guys coming to me still. They might be falling out at home. It might be them going through something. And they come sit in my chair for that hour and it changed the whole game. You know, I changed their appearance. They look better. They feel better. There's nothing in this world that I love to do more than changing my client and making him feel better. Changing his appearance. Getting him compliment. You know, I just love changing the game, man. And for us younger barbers, man, you can be 50 years old and still be a younger barber. Age don't determine that for me. What determines a younger barber is how long you have been cutting. You know, you could be 28 and you're an older barber now because you've been cutting for 10 plus years or 15 plus years. You know, so just stay consistent with everything, like just involving the game, your equipment, your clients, your timing, you know, your work and how you post. You know, keep it professional. Do not go post nothing on your business page that you can potentially post on your personal page because people are looking at that. And I do want to say that if you don't have a pair of Andy's Masters or you don't have a pair of the Stylecraft Instincts, I pretty much would go get a pair. I haven't used the new 245 trim clippers, but I do have the trimmers. Simply because I'm just used to babless trimmers. As you can see, these are the trimmers, and I adjusted these things. These things hit. As you can see, I'm just tapping and going. I'm barely touching them. It's not pulling his skin. And I know I talked to y'all a lot about me not liking deep tooth blades, but this is probably the only trimmer that came with a deep tooth blade that I really love. Like, I love this trimmer. It hit out the box, but for my preference, it don't because I'm super light on my hands. But for like somebody that was like heavy-handed, yeah, probably so. But like, I adjusted these myself. I didn't reach up the blade like I usually would, but I just wanted to bump my blade up just a little bit, and which I did. And it's these things, man. These things hit. As you can see, they're gliding. They're literally gliding. Like, if you can't see that, I don't know. They're gliding. You know, and I'm only tapping them. Yeah, I'm going on with the vertical bar, and like I said, I'm just tapping. It creates an ash line for you. It gives you a clean, close cut. As you can see, that's what you want when you go to lay your enhancements. You do not want no bulk sticking over top of your enhancements because the enhancements would not look as natural. You know, this looks so good. It definitely looks so good. As you can see, it's gliding. Like, these trimmers are it. Like, if you don't own a pair, man, go get a pair. I can almost imagine if the trimmer like this, how the clipper is. You know, I'm so tempted to get the clipper, but you know, as you can see, I'm spraying on my waterproof enhancements. This just going to fix the cut up. You know, this is one of a kind. You know. As you can see, I'm just filling in areas that's, you know, super light. My client wanted enhancements, so please do not jump on me about it. My client wanted enhancements. As you can see, that look good. I'm taking my hair fibers here just to create some pop and some dents. Now I'm going in with my Barber Magic pencil. It's almost like concealer, you know. Just concealing his line, just to get it to pop out a lot more after the enhancements in the hair fibers. and that looks good. As you can see, this cut is detailed. You can't sit here and tell me this cut isn't detailed. Like, it's detailed fully. Taking my trimmers and just, you know, not smearing it, but, you know, just giving it, just spreading it out evenly. Like I said, I use thin lines, so I don't want to put too much of the pencil on there. This looks so good. That looks good. Well, you can tell them how you feel about it.
Yes, sir. Got me right.
As you can see, it's barbers. Man, listen. You changed the game, man. You changed the game. You have clients coming in looking completely like this. Down bad, rough, whatever you want to call it. But as our jobs as barbers, to change the game. Without further ado, let's lock in. Lock all the way in, man. Consistency is everything. Being consistent with your clients is everything. This cut is fire. If you learned something from this video, please subscribe. Show me that you here, man. Subscribe. Drop a comment, a like, whatever. Turn that bell notification on. I'm out.